How's it going, guys? Reiff here, and I've come again with another story. The clock was ticking. 15 minutes left. I had no clue what I was about to do. I looked around my room and saw an inflatable alien, my stuffed hedgehog, his name is Henry, and a bottle of vodka, and a pack of cupcakes. It was time to make a music video. But first, let's rewind. June 16th, 1972. I was not born yet, but in May or April of 2021, I was just chilling in bed. I think I'd taken a nap and had waken up or something. You see, I had kind of gotten in the habit of just working, delivering pizza all day, that is, and then the next day, not really feeling the energy to be productive or creative. And it seemed like many people around me were making progress in their own music careers, which is amazing. But it also just illuminated the fact to me that I was essentially still at ground zero in my career. Maybe I was disoriented by the waves of life, with some things at that time just not working out for me as I planned. Because I knew I had potential in a number of areas, but I just couldn't find the current to connect it all together. It seemed I was at the will of the ocean, and all I could do was float aimlessly. I was lost. And it dawned on me that this would just be another day where I let time drift by as I sunk into my bed. But then I was like, no, that's stupid. I am going to write a song and produce it and release it today. And to hold myself accountable, I'm going to announce this all over my social media and even add one of those cool countdown timers on my Instagram story. And so I did just that. And then I was like, oh shit, I really need to do this. So I scrambled and got to work. And there was no time to overthink things. No time to feel lost. I had to make decisions, commit, and move forward. So before I even touched the piano, I heard a melody in my head. It was literally the very first idea I had. It almost seemed as if it had been waiting there for me in that moment. Again, there was no overthinking, no second guessing. There was just no time for that. I had made my decision and knew right then that this melody was going to be the soul of the song. So I hopped on my keys and started to flesh the melody out some more. Now, I really like to get creative with harmony. The way I think about it is you have the melody. La 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 la. And in many ways, that melody is like the soul of the song. But then you have an infinite amount of ways you can emotionally color that melody with the harmony you choose. Now, some ways are more obvious than others. And I think of these kind of like your primary colors. La 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 la. And you often need your primary colors if you want to paint a meaningful picture that people can relate to. But I do think it's also important to be aware of the different ways you can interpret the same thing. Maybe you're trying to convey more pain and sorrow. La 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 la. it's really up to your interpretation, what's right for your song. I think my favorite songs often have a mixture of emotions. La 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 la. But I've found there's always a harmony that ties it all together. You just have to hear it. Anyways, I started choosing some chords to go with the melody I had, based on the emotions I was feeling. I found when I start to get creative with the chords, they can actually cause the existing melody to venture off into new terrain. And then this causes you to have new chords to work with. And again, this can affect where the melody wants to go. It's like this dance between the melody and harmony that the music takes on its own spirit and the song naturally reveals itself. So, after I had the music in place, it was time for the lyrics. Now, I'm notorious for getting stuck on lyrics, but I knew the clock was ticking down. So I walked to the nearby park and sat on a bench on the hill with my notepad. And as expected, I was stuck. I tried writing, but just no ideas were sparking. And I was beginning to worry because I hadn't even started the production yet. How am I going to get this thing done in time? But then I just paused. I thought about how the music seemed to reveal itself when I just let it. Maybe the lyrics could too. And so I stopped everything for a moment. And just like that initial melody seemed to be waiting there when I simply gave it space to manifest, that same voice was still there, just this time in the form of a lyric. Just breathe. And just as the initial melodic idea setting forth the feedback loop for the music to kind of write itself, this lyrical idea led to another, which led to another, and in about 30 minutes, I had written the song. Woohoo! But now it's production time. So I hurried back home to my bedroom studio. I first recorded a pass of me playing keys throughout the entirety of the song, and then quickly recorded a vocal take. And so I had the piano/vocal shell of the song recorded. It was my outline to the canvas, so to speak. But what was I going to add to it? What sonic landscape did I wish to paint? I suppose the one guiding factor for me was to keep in mind the lyrics and big picture of the song, and to best create a musical universe that encapsulated the meaning and emotions I felt. But really, I didn't have any time to think about it. It was a matter of following my intuition, committing to ideas, and just trusting in the process. It was very much like writing the music and crafting the lyrics, actually. Again, one idea would lead to the next, and because I wasn't second-guessing myself and going back to delete/re-record tracks for fear of my time limit, the production seemed to complete itself. So, when I got to the very end of the song, I knew I needed one last musical moment to express the whole journey I had been through. I felt a sense of transcendence, of going beyond the confines I previously felt stuck in. So I reached in my bag of chords to see if there was some harmony that could capture this feeling. And my first impulse was to reach for a Lydian scale. Lydian is one of my absolute favorite sounds, and it often brings forth feelings of awe and wonder in me. So I gave the Lydian ending a listen. It was close to what I was going for, but not quite there. I really needed something extra special. Then I had an idea. What if I literally transcended the musical notes themselves? So I took the notes of my Lydian ending, but tuned it up 50 cents sharp. So it existed right between all the keys and beyond the realm of playable notes altogether. But then I listened. It almost felt mystical. Like I was simultaneously transported to another dimension and returning back to an old home. Like finding a new trail down an old path. A breath of fresh air. Transcendence. And so, with 30 minutes left to spare, the song was complete. But then I was like, shit, I still need to make a video of this to post it. There was no time to think. I gathered all the things that were in my room, from my stuffed animals, my bottle of Malibu, my blow-up alien, and a pack of cupcakes, and got to work. And by work, I mean I filmed a one-take video of me getting creative in my room. Just like all the other parts of the song process, it seemed an idea would come one moment of the video, which would lead to the next, and so on and so forth. It was just a matter of really surrendering to the process. It took me about 3 attempts and multiple cupcakes eaten, but I got the video down. I couldn't believe it. I had set out to create, produce, and make a video for a song in a day, and I had achieved my goal. Well, honestly, I actually extended the timeline to about a day and a half, but it was close enough. The point was, I had made something. Now, it was time to share it with the world. I uploaded it onto Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and sat back clenching my lottery ticket that it would go viral and kickstart my career. Well, I received some likes and some really nice comments. It seems like my song had genuinely struck a chord in some people, and they were excited about more Reiff stuff to come. And that was awesome. It really meant a lot that there were people who took the time to listen and resonated with my art. I guess I was just hoping that more would happen. After about a day, the initial buzz more or less died down, and the video just remained in my feed. I knew I should have been happy. I created something and shared it with the world. That's something to feel good about, right? I suppose I was just looking for more of a sign that the waves were picking up, that I could find one and maybe ride it to shore, wherever that is. Maybe I was just swimming against the current. But the truth is, I was still lost in the ocean. So I left the song as it was, and life continued on. I made new friends and moved to new places, had new experiences, and learned new things. It was around a year later that I was going through a phase where I was really interested in discovering more about mixing and mastering. I think a lot of people will agree there's actually a lot of creativity in mixing. You're taking all of your ingredients, which is kind of like your recorded tracks, and mixing them together in a way where the frequency flavors work in harmony, ultimately creating a delicious sonic dish. Anyways, I needed a track to practice on what I had been learning. Maybe I could touch up my old song. I was definitely happy with how it turned out, considering I made it in about a day. But ultimately, it was still just kind of demo quality, and it would be a fun challenge to polish it up. So I had spent enough time away from it that perhaps I could see the song from a new perspective. So I did just that. I came back to the song with a new set of ears. I added some more production and tidied up the mix and master. I didn't set out to change any of the work, but merely enhance what was already there. And this was a special feeling. I had found a harmony in a sort of paradox. On one end, I wanted to keep working on the song, pushing myself to make it as good as possible. But for once, this motivation wasn't coming from a place of lack. Because the whole time, I knew the song was complete as it was. Me giving it my all was merely a celebration of that. The song was truly complete.
When the ocean seems so big, it can make you feel so small. Yeah, it's easy to get lost, finding meaning in it all. But just float right where you are. It's simpler than you think. All you need is some fresh air, but you're scared you're gonna sink. Yeah, the waves may seem real rough, but you know how to swim. Yeah, this current may seem tough, ooh, but you have strength within. So if the tide's too strong, just float out to sea, and don't be scared to drown, 'cause all you've got to do is just breathe.
You know, when I look at my life today, I'm still not really where I want to be. I moved to Nashville 4 years ago, and my music career just hasn't really gone anywhere. I'm still just delivering pizza to get by. And in just a few years, I'll be 30, and I'm really starting to wonder if my life will be any different then. It's tough when you feel as though your dreams are just drifting further and further away from you. But these days, when I'm feeling lost, sometimes I just have to take a breath and take a look at the ocean. I look back at the excitement of me moving to Nashville, to the chaos of moving into a house infested with bugs, the drunken nights with my friends seeing who could pee the longest off a highway bridge, and the quiet nights at 2 a.m. when it was just me and my piano. The intimacy of my first real relationship, and the pain when she disappeared. Feeling so lost as I cried driving home after a long day at work, wondering if I'd ever find a path forward doing what I love, or if my flame was just slowly burning out. And the clarity of this moment as I revisit these waves from a distance and recognize what they've all been a part of. So, when the ocean seems so big, it's okay to be right where I am. Sometimes I'll float up, and sometimes I'll come down, and there'll always be unexpected twists and turns. At times it can be overwhelming, and at times it can be underwhelming too. But when I just stop and take a breath and really listen, there's a melody there. It's always been there in every moment. And there's not one note of that melody that's wrong. Not one wave I shouldn't have sailed. Not one breath I shouldn't have taken. Because it's not just the melody. It's the harmony. It's just up to me to hear it. I think the song is being written just fine. Love you guys.
Oh, so it's like all interconnected, man. That's pretty cool.